Hi. So, yeah, I was just doing my fireworks display and I really want to get it around the corner. Well, around two corners. But, but I've got to stop and do this first. I want to see how many houses I can get done apparently in 19 minutes. If any of them are a two-story, I'm in big trouble. But I haven't been on here in a while because I've been trying to get that 4th of July display done. Because if I can get that and Lessons in Love done before Christmas, I will be happy. Not that I'm not happy right now, just, you know, um, I would be very, very happy. Um, so my sister would be saying shame on me because uh, when we went to the doctors, I weighed more than I wanted to. And I think it's because I've been drinking Coca Cola, which I told her to stop drinking because it uh it has some stuff in it that like makes you, well, not everybody, but it makes you get makes you weigh more. I will say it that way. That's kind of a nice way to say it. It makes you weigh more. So, like if you cut out at least dark sodas, it helps because they've got like dyes in them to make them that dark color, and the dyes are not good for you. Of course, this is the person who ate a bunch of candy yesterday, so we went to the job fair and it was a bust for me, but my husband did find some things that he thought he could do. And but we got some neat stuff like chip clip. I'm not sure if it's actually a chip clip, but I think it is. Um, like a chip clip, a cell phone holder, some keychains, stress balls. We don't even use stress balls. Why did he grab them? But but they also had a bunch of candy. So I'm like, ooh, that's a great way to get it's all the snack size, that you would give away for Halloween. Um, but that's like a perfect way to get my I get sugar cravings like everybody else. I just shouldn't have it because sometimes it makes me feel yucky and run down. But apparently yesterday I was fine. But that may have had something to do with my body was like, "Oh, you finally ate something." So, okay, we'll, you know, be nice about it and you know, but yeah, I need to get out and walk more. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to um figure out where the stroller is and we're going to put um Ben and Sam in there and we'll take a walk in the morning. Well, in the early afternoon. It's been too hot lately, though. Really weird weather because, like, it seemed like it was getting cold, and then all of a sudden it just got warm again. Yeah, it's normal for Nevada. Um, kind of liked on that. I mean, in that respect, I kind of liked the weather in California better, but it gets to be, horrible Africa hot. It seems like. Um, so we used to live in northern Nevada in a city called Fairfield, and it got sometimes to be 110. And I've gotten used to the weather over here where it's not that bad. So luckily, we don't have any graduations scheduled for the next 2 years, I think it was. So, oh, that I know of. I just thought of that. What if that is creepy? He's in one of the Star Wars stores, and it is creepy. Hey, I just found out that Xbox came up with a um X like their own version of the Switch. Um the only reason why I'm saying it that way is because you can go and play your games on the go. You know, so I was like, if that plays, um, like if we got, uh, if I was able to get one of those jobs where I could, um, go from the store to store and set up displays and try to convince people to buy Tic Tac and Nutella, whatever, um, whatever the thing was, this time of year, putting candy on the shelf at Walmart, unless they're doing that themselves. That was something I loved doing, actually. And were the, we were supposed to be the Mars, Brox, and were we Mars, Brox, and Hershey? I don't think we were Hershey, because I think Hershey was their own thing. Mars, Brox, and the ones that do Reese's. I can't think of it. You would think that we did that for like 3 years. We ought to know what their um what the candy name was, but apparently not. But yeah, it wasn't Hershey's because because Hershey's was their own thing, and or maybe it was Hershey and the other one was their own thing. Anyway, there was there was three brands that we um put on the shelf. And well, technically he had two brands, I had one, because I was supposed to be doing the Mars, and my husband was supposed to be doing Brock's and the other one. And we just kind of generally tried to make sure that every candy was represented, whether it was our candy or not. I mean, we tried to make ours the most prominent, but we did, you know, we didn't like shove theirs to the back or anything like that. But I think it was the Hershey one. They had shoved every single one of the boxes that we had just done to the back and uh, made sure that their product was seen. And it's like, you can't be doing that. And then they go and try to tell us, no, they didn't do that. It's like, I don't believe you. But anyway, there was, like I said, there were like three chocolate brands, and then there was the the Brock's. And I decided I didn't. Oh, well, the candy canes. I know that has nothing to do with Halloween candy, but the Brock's candy canes, I don't like them. I liked Bob's or um, whoever was doing them before Bob's, and now they don't have them anymore, and I don't know why. And I'm a firm believer in Christmas candy canes ought to be peppermint. You know, I don't like the idea of having, fruit. Well, I mean, for other people, I like the idea of having fruit punch and hot chocolate, or I think it says hot cocoa. Um, I think there's roasted marshmallows in there. There's all kinds of neat flavors. I like them for other people, but for me specifically, it's got to be peppermint. And it has to be the right flavor of peppermint. And Bob's had it, and if they are out of business, I'm going to be so mad. Or if they're like only at Target. Well, if they're only at Target, I can work with that. I think. I think I can work with that. Because I'm not afraid to walk. It's just that, well, I mean, I'm kind of afraid to walk just because, um, you never know if you're going to get grabbed if you're walking by yourself. My husband doesn't like getting out and walking, but I know that's what I need to do. So, can't do that this winter though because with snow comes ice, and that is where I hurt myself badly a few times. So I'm like, I'm done. I don't walk. I hardly go out of the house during the winter. My husband has to go and tell me there's no ice out there. It's okay. Or he'll have to, help me out to the car. Because I am so afraid I'm gonna, I'm afraid I'm gonna actually break something this time. Instead of, well, I don't know that I didn't break my knee, but it was still moving, so, I don't know how that works, but as far as I know, the only thing that has ever gotten broken on me is a toe or, a fingernail. Um, had to get my gallbladder out, but, that's a different subject. That's not like, I mean, it's broken, but it's not like a broken bone. So I think that's gonna be interesting next time I have a conversation where, uh, a medical conversation where it's like, have you had any surgeries? It's like, yeah, uh, two C-sections, um, my daughter and my son. And then I had to get my gallbladder out. Yeah, because nobody told me that it was the gallbladder that got taken out um for my Aunt Susie, and nobody bothered to tell me that Aunt Ruby had gotten it out too. So then my Aunt Ruby told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a family thing. I didn't feel like I was singled out anymore. Well, I guess the answer is going to be two. I've got 4 minutes to go. Okay. So, I am hungry. And I've got granola in there. Or I can just skip to lunch. I think I want to have the granola this morning. So the small problem is about shopping at Costco is that, you're over there going, ooh, granola! And then you're like halfway through the month and you still have more granola and you're like, granola! Or like the Frosted Flakes I was eating and you're like, Frosted Flakes, you're all excited when you buy them, but they last so long that because I'm the only one eating both of them, um, that it's like, can't we have something else? And I was kind of looking at Cheerios, but I know me, I'll be like, okay, that's open, that isn't yet. Um, yeah, there's no way I'm getting this done in 2 minutes. Because I like to stream for 3 hours, and sometimes it goes into 4, but I like doing the 3 hours. And then that leaves room for me to be able to work on my story and try to get those Xbox points and all that stuff. That kind of sucks, so I'm going to have to try to do all 8 games on Wednesday, though. Because, okay, so first of all, I'm trying to feed all the animals and water all the flowers. Um, but I also need to do something called a dream snap, which is you set up a area of your valley and, they give you a theme, but, like say, it's Halloween time, it's spooky, and they'll give you like orange as they'll give you orange as a color, and then they'll give you wondrous and simple or something like that. And there's usually 4. So wondrous, simple, and chairs, or wonderful, simple, wondrous, simple, and seating with the orange, and so you go and put everything uh that's orange, and you go and put everything that's wondrous, and put everything that's simple, and put everything that's um some kind of chairs or couches or whatever, and that fit, and the tags that fit all four of them are even better. So anyway, I've got to do that on Wednesday, and I've got to do my feeding and watering, and then I've got to do all 8 of the games. So you see my small dilemma there, and still have to get some of the story done. Hopefully that day will be like a really short, um, will be like a really short chapter. I doubt it, because the way I write, there's not usually really short chapters. This one's had some really short, Lessons in Love has had some really short chapters, though, because my husband um, said a good rule of thumb is to, he was just suggesting it, but I love it, is like if you have Sean and Ashley in their bedroom, uh, kissing, and yeah, I just gave away something, but anyway, if you have them in their room kissing and about to have some alone time, the door's locked, and then their daughter and her boyfriend. I know his name was Ned. I can't think of her name. That is so horrible. I can't think of her name. But anyway, um, they walk up to the door and knock on it, and or the first daughter walks up, and she needs to talk to her parents, but like they're about to have some alone time, so she doesn't, so they don't really talk to her. She like yells fine, and Ashley says, "You're gonna have to patch that up later." And Sean's like, "As soon as we're done here," you know. And so, them talking to both sets of both daughters and the boyfriend, that would be one scene. If you really want to be silly, you could make talking to the first daughter one scene and talking to the second daughter another scene. But since they're still both in the bedroom trying to have some alone time, uh, it probably wouldn't go like that. So it's 11:04, but I really want to start in on the next house. I'm gonna at least get the front done. Okay, wait, so that is the correct color, right? Why is that one the correct color and that one wasn't? I am so confused. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. And then that's oak, and then that's spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak. Then for some reason this is mangrove. Oh, I just thought of something. Yep. Okay, so I do have all of the porches except for this one. that's good because I can put this one in and the house will be done. Oh, well, okay. It'll be almost done. I gotta put the um, doors. And then as soon as I can, I will get the pressure plate. So, I've never been on the Star Wars rides. I haven't been there at Disneyland since 2000, August 2000. Um, the week included August 14th. But yeah, I haven't been to Disneyland since then. And I really want to go. But my dad's right. It's going to be different. And I don't know if it's going to be a good different for me or if it's going to be a bad different for me. Probably be a bad different. And I don't like crowds. Um, I always get this idea that somebody's going to try to grab my wallet or my cell phone. Things for because I grew up in California and the news was always saying uh this person got robbed or that person got robbed, or in Sacramento uh this person was just trying to cross the street and got into a horrible car accident. Or they got shot or something. Um, yeah, I'm gonna change the subject because this is Minecraft, so if kids are watching, they wanna have lighthearted, happy conversation. That's what I'm guessing, is that they want lighthearted, happy conversation. Um, Besides, kids don't need to know that stuff like that actually happens. Okay, so we'll do this house and get at least the front done. Maybe we'll do the whole thing because I feel like doing the whole thing. I don't know. Uh, yeah, so I got a book sale from Japan and I thought that was really cool. I still haven't gotten paid for it though. So if I haven't gotten paid for it by like Monday, I'm gonna say something to them because I think it I think it emailed me about that, and then I found the other one about me actually getting paid um from me buying books. So I used we're doing this survey thing um where they watch what I do on my phone, and mostly it's been looking up uh looking up stuff for my stories. Cause I've got a big old long list, and I put it in my phone because it's easier to find that way. Um, and sometimes uh I was gonna say sometimes I'm out of the house and I need to know this information, but not really. So never mind, I said that. But it just helps that they're all there. And so like I could just grab my phone while I'm working on the computer and, find out, oh, okay, that's Jessica or that's Lucas. There's supposed to be a section of Speechlo that I can record my voice. I don't think I want to, but I really don't. I don't think I would want to use my voice. Um, Maybe my daughter's. Like I don't know if she'd be up for that, but I don't know if she'd like that idea, um, but like I might like it if my daughter and my son's voice were both in my story. I think that'd be awesome. And and maybe have my dad's voice in there somewhere. Even if he's just like maybe have all of my family in there, and if um if I can, it would be nice to be able to have my mom on there. I know that my sister and my brother might get a little sad, but if I could get their voices, because I do have their voices on videos, I think it would be really awesome. Um, yeah, I would like to have like all of my uh family members I have left do a voice, whether it's a teacher or um, whether it's a teacher that you hear in one book or or um or somebody that you hear in every single book. I think it would just be awesome. I don't know if they'd be up for it, like if they would want to lend their voices to my book, but I do think it would be cool. So I was just thinking that my cousin Jeremy would be a good voice for. I think he'd be a good voice for Jordan. An even better voice than what I chose. Because he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a ladies' man, but not sound. How the Rock has kind of uh, it's like a Superman kind of voice, like I'm gonna kill you, that kind of voice. He's got. I don't know why that's always the example I come up with, but okay, like can you smell what the Rock is cooking? He it's kind of got that kind of voice. Well, he's not supposed to have that kind of voice, but he's not supposed to be the, oh my gosh, boys, we need to go to shopping. He doesn't need that voice either. He needs something in the middle, and still be the ladies' man, but not like, hello, Diane, let's look at those swatches. That I got off of Sleepless in Seattle. And I do a very bad impression of it, so Sleepless in Seattle has Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. It has a lot of other actors, but those are the two that I remember. Oh, it's also got okay, it's got the guy that made the ship or made the designs for the ship from Titanic, and um there's a movie called Now and Then, and she's on that, and she played a creepy person on a TV show that I can't remember the name of at the moment. I want to say, I actually want to say it was Bosom Buddies. And yes, that is a name of a TV show that happened to have Tom Hanks in it. But I'm not sure that that was the show that I'm actually thinking of. But anyway, she played a creepy person. They were supposed to be going out on a date, and she was like a witch or something like that. And I don't think it was Halloween. But I've never seen the episode. I've just seen I either saw a picture or a clip from the episode. Anyway, we're gonna finish this one right here, and then we're probably gonna end up going back to the other one. We're still on Cherry Street. Oh my goodness. Well, there's a possibility that I can work on my story and do this at the same time. This usually wins out more than the story does, um, but I think I need to, um, well, first of all, I need to wake up my husband because he's still sleeping. Second of all, need to check on, Bobby because she's snoring again. Just want to make sure she's okay. She does that a lot though. She snores. I need to get breakfast and get these videos posted. Oh. Oh, no. Watch to earn drops. For what? Get rewards by watching Pirate Author 23 while they're live in Minecraft. And it ends on October 11th. Okay, what are the details? That is pretty dang cool. Yeah, it took me to, open reward campaigns. Rewards are limited time offers from top brands that you can unlock by supporting your favorite Twitch creators. You can see currently available rewards and offer details on this page. Visit your inventory to access unlocked rewards. Okay. Well, this one is Minecraft Live 2025 Copper Age. And you can do it anytime between today, Saturday, September 27th at 11 a.m., so 20 minutes ago. PDT, that's what they call it. They call it PDT. I don't know what that means. Pacific Daylight Time? Anyway, between today and Saturday, October 11th, 11:59 p.m., so just before midnight, PDT. And oh, okay, so it looks like you get a little outfit for your character. Copper core. And if you do, I guess if you do it, you get a 25-digit code and you can get that little outfit. Okay. So it sounds pretty cool. I don't, unless I like added more availability for outfit slots, I don't have any available outfit slots. Like, there's a ton of outfits in the, there's a ton of outfits that you could put on your character, but I like the outfit that I've got. Wrong button. I like this outfit. There we go. And they say that Alex is not in the game anymore, but that's who my character is Alex. I think I got that. I got her before they took her back out again or something. I don't know. I just know that I have Alex and I'm very happy about it. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute that because they're playing music and I know it's copyrighted. I don't know if it's copyright. I don't know how that works. If they're playing it on instruments in Disneyland and I'm watching a Disneyland video or a previous Disneyland stream that has now become a video, and they're not actually singing the words, does that still count as copyrighted? I have no idea. So, I don't know. So, I'm still trying to get this year's fireworks display to go around the corner. I'm trying to get around the corner, do that mini, do that fireworks display. Mini grand finale, that's what I was trying to say. Trying to get that mini grand finale done and then get it around the corner again and then I'm going to be going down the street and it's going to take forever, but it'll be nice when it's done. And I will be so happy. But then after that, it gets confusing. It's okay, though. We will get it figured out. Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm also trying to get last year's fireworks display to look even better and actually work. I think I just came up with an idea of how to get it to do what I want it to do and still have the water. Not entirely sure because the one time I tried to do that, it didn't work out so great. Okay, so we got the pink house done. Just need to do the driveway and oh no, did I put in the I don't think I did. Hold on, it'll make sense uh in a moment here. This is going to be the hard part of the fireworks display for this for 2026. I was going to say this year. um yeah, this is going to be the hard part because I don't have any houses in that one. I need to figure out where Michael's house is. I need to figure out where Michael's house is and make his out of a make his with the make his with the cobblestone bottom and then make the others with with whatever color needs to be. And anyway, I'm trying to get done that one. Like if I reuse it, I'm gonna try to get it done before 2027. So I gotta rework it though. There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't work, and I don't like it. I got a dumb question. Okay, that one does. 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 Okay. But this one does not. I don't know why he did that. He would not explain. Well, at least he wouldn't explain to where I understood. But he did that, and yeah. So you'll notice that I've got oh, wait a minute. So you'll notice I've got the brick that I need to fill that in because I don't understand why it needs to be there. I'm not planning on letting visitors onto this world again for a while because, other people don't understand. They just don't. And, as much as I love having people in my world, I just don't plan on having visitors for a while because they don't get it. That this is my story world, and this is very precious to me. And I can explain all day long, but that doesn't mean you're gonna understand. It's very much like the movie Saving Mr. Banks, how she was like, she needed the money. She needed to make another book, and she just had like writer's block or something, and or yeah, she either had writer's block, or it was they don't understand, and they don't deserve to have any more stories, or something like that. Actually, you know what? I will do that, because I've come up with that more. This, I believe, is Emily's house. Hey, if I finally got the Emily's house, that's awesome. And this is Rick's house. You can tell by the cobblestone at the bottom. Which means that we're almost to the end of the street, I think. But the front part of it isn't at the end of the street yet. Anyway, so maybe we'll go till noon today. I don't know. It may take longer than that because I'm trying to get all of the back door area finished, and like he was kind of questioning, why does it have to be this color? Why does it have to be that color? And it's like, well, it has to be that color because that's the next color in the lineup. I think it's really cool that some of these are actually bamboo houses. It seems silly, but those houses I love because I don't have to change anything. They're already bamboo. They just need the backyard, the front yard, stuff set up, and they're good to go. Hey, we finally reached the end. Do we put the... No, we didn't. Answered that like I had said yes, but changed my mind, and that's not the way it was meant to be. But yeah, so if we just have to go and change some house colors when we come back on this after lunch, then that would be great. No, that's that way. Oh, but the colors are this way. Okay. So this has got the garage. Now it's got the garage door. This has got the walkway. Now it has the front door. But it's got to be a different color. This has... Why? Okay, first of all, why did it take the thing out? Why did it not put that there? Why was I sitting here and all of a sudden an image of Jaws popped into my head? I've never seen that movie. I've seen like you know, pictures of it, and I've seen, okay, I've seen pictures of it. I've seen, I mean, I know the quote, "We gotta get a bigger boat," but I've never actually seen it. And, like, I feel like that's one of those every person in America should know this movie. But I just. Yeah! I'm sorry, that scared me. Okay, let's try that again. There. I don't know why that scared me so bad. I, well, sometimes I forget that it's, like I know that it's there and that it's supposed to be a moving piece, but I guess sometimes I forget that it's supposed to be moving. And excuse me, because that was not nice sound that came out of me just now. Um, there we go. Now let's hope that that's the color it's supposed to be. Not necessarily. Great. Because that says oak and that says it should be bamboo. I have no idea. But we're just trying to put in driveways and stuff right now. We will figure out what color it's supposed to be uh, soon. Well, not soon, but, eventually. Anyway, sometimes I want to put in the colors of the houses, and sometimes I'm like, let's go and make sure the driveways and stuff are okay. Either way, something gets put in, and it's making content, and I'm happy about it. Yeah, I got to tell a bunch of people that this is what I would rather be doing for a living. Although, I do wish I had. This is not a advertisement to buy my books, but it's going to turn into that in a moment. um, just because we're on the subject. Um, I wish I had a bigger advertising budget because if you can advertise, like I would like to get those magnets that go on your car. I would probably have like 6 separate magnets just for every single one of my books, and at the bottom it would say available on Amazon. You know, um, they told me that okay, so let me put it this way: Amazon is great because you get money, but to self publish with Amazon, well, but you do the you do the writing of the book. You do the editing of the book. You do the advertising. And then they still want 30% of your money? You're doing all the work. They should get 10%. Although they're coming up with the book version and printing costs are pretty high. But that's with my book. I'm going to definitely try a different size. Um, I'm going to try a different size this next time and see if that works. Um, I'm not going to mess with it until I've got it all set up and ready to go. But I'm definitely going to try a different color. Oh, yeah, see? Okay. No. I got the, um, so I've got it set up. I just don't have it set up quite right. Because I was trying not to get too many, samey looking colors next to each other. Like there's going to be that, and then this one's going to be birch. And, I didn't want to have too many samey looking colors. Oh, might help if I, put it in the driveway. Like bamboo and oak and birch kind of all look the same-ish. Ooh, they're going to own It's a Small World, or they just went through it. I'm not sure which. I think they just went through it because they're going like toward the thing. I think it's like if they have one. I think it's the holiday overlay. Basically, it's um if you play video games, it's a reskin. If you don't, but you have gone trick or treating at any point in time in your life, it's like it's like the ride is wearing a costume. They've changed some elements in there to reflect whatever holiday it is. Or I've just been informed they're supposed to be putting Miguel in there. I want to say Miguel's from Coco. I haven't seen that movie. I've heard it's a tearjerker, and I decided I didn't want to watch it. That's why I will not watch Fox and the Hound. Makes me cry. Actually, okay, so part of it makes me cry, but then the other part of it is like, how the HE double hockey sticks do you fall in love with this fox, and then all of a sudden, because he's causing trouble with the neighbor, it's throw him away time. Uh-uh. I realize he's a wild animal who shouldn't have ever been he shouldn't have ever been a pet in the first place, but she did take him in as a pet, and you don't just, and he became her baby. So you don't just throw away your baby because it's causing trouble. Or because it's the third cat and apartments don't want you to have three cats. don't know why. I mean, with Bobby, I understand actually because Bobby, you know, Bobby likes to look out the window, and the blinds were in her way. And instead of saying, "Excuse me, could you please," cats can't say, "Excuse me, can you please?" But they can't get their point across. Instead of asking for help, she's just like, "Nope, the blinds have to go." So uh, she kind of pushed them out of her way until she could see um, outside without help. So, so next time we ask for blinds, we are going to um, I'm going to give the guy a challenge. I'm going to say I want cat-proof blinds. And well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a guy. It could be a woman too. But you know, um, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I don't think that there's a place where there's just guys selling blinds. But why is this one pink? Oh, I see why this one's pink. Never mind. Never mind. Being a little bit of a doofus there. This is okay. So that is Rick's house. This is Emily's house. And Rick's dad was like standing right here, and there's like a moving van right here, and he looks over and he's like, "Oh, that is one beautiful woman," you know. And so Emily lives here with her mom and her dad when he's home, but his dad's in the military. So I figure, um, yeah, I like this better than I like that. With the one by itself. I like the two. So this is kind of okay. This is a representation. The whole entire house is a representation of my house in Suisun, California. It's no longer there. The street isn't even there anymore. They renamed it. Actually, I think they took it out and put it as uh the like like um like you park your car behind your house or something like that. There was like an alleyway kind of thing. It's weird. But anyway, you like park your car back there. Um or like that's the way you get to your garage or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't have, like house and the garage like this. And our garage actually had it was the house, and then it had some grass here, and then the garage. Because once upon a time, the garage was the house, and the house was the garage. I don't understand that. Growing up in that house, I never knew this. My dad told me this years later, and I'm like, how? How? I'm still trying to figure out how. But yeah. So, so it isn't exactly the way it was supposed to be because it was a little bigger. Um, like you go in the house right there, and there was actually a wall, a little bit of a wall right here, and then you go down the that whole wall was no, just the part where the garage was, and then like the refrigerator, if I remember correctly, was right about there, and the wall was like a little more in. Anyway, it was really nice. And I had this thing. It was called a magical musical thing, and I used to drive my parents nuts with it. So they put it on top of the refrigerator most of the time, and I couldn't reach it. And, oh wait, no, I can't do that. Anyway, I couldn't reach it to play more annoying music. Um, so it was like having a. Oh, okay, we're done. Yay! We just need to put in the rest of the garage. I mean the pathway and garage stuff, and I think we'll be good to go here. Anyway, it was kind of like having the part of the guitar, not the figure eight shape part, but like if you took all the parts where the strings are, but made the case plastic, and I think it had buttons, but I can't remember. But I think it had buttons, and it made music. I mean, you can make music with it, but like I said, my dad kept it on the refrigerator. He let me play with it a little bit here and there, kind of thing. Um, okay, so I just need to make sure real quick. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna guess that the rest of them have it. I have figured out that some of them didn't have it, and I'm like, how'd that happen? There we go. Um, yeah, I have discovered that it was like it didn't have it, and I'm like, well, I've been doing this, and I've been making sure that all of them had it. How did that happen? I don't know. But but at one point it got broke, and it was like taped together to death because it was one of my favorite toys, and I have no idea where we got it. But if I could get another one, I'd want to get a picture of it with with I would want to make sure that I get a picture of it so I can keep it forever. I was gonna say on top of an old-fashioned refrigerator, but I don't know if I want to do that. And knowing my luck, I'd probably get the one that I had when I was a kid, which would be really funny. Because, like I said, it was held together with tape at one point, and then it was just like, it's too broken. I'm not fixing it again. I'm pretty sure I cried about it because that was one of my favorite things to play with. Um, of course, I remember when I was younger, I had Um, I had my mom's teddy bears, like teddy bears that they'd gotten when they were married and they went to um, Marriott's Great America. Yeah, you're probably going to say it's Paramount or it's whatever it was after it was Paramount. And because I really don't know. So the problem with having a two-story in fictional Ireland is that you don't get um oh wait, that needs to stay there. You don't get very much of a walkway. It keeps doing that. Keeps jump scaring me. There. So you gotta be careful doing that though, because sometimes you can get two doors in the same spot. Oh, okay. Um, wow. It's already 3 minutes to noon. Um, so some things that I have to do in the near future is on Monday I get to do the kitty litter boxes. Yay! I just love that treasure hunt. No, I don't. I really don't. Um, yeah, you're probably saying, why don't you get one of those that um, separates the two? I don't know how my cats would like that. They've only ever had the Walmart covered litter boxes, and oh, well, except for Bobby's. I like Bobby's litter box. It's pretty cool. And since it's right there by the stairs, I can just sit there and uh, take all the treasures out of there, and it doesn't bug me so much being down on the floor because I am not on the floor. I'm on the stairs. And you're probably wondering why I don't just drag the other two um over to the stairs. Well, the one's upstairs. And then the other one, it's literally on the opposite side of the house from the stairs, so it would be good, but it's not really practical. Either way, it's gotta get done. And then I've gotta keep up on feeding critters in Dreamlight Valley because I think I'm almost done. And watering flowers. I didn't realize, but I can water flowers anytime. And they don't just have to be dried ones. I thought it was just the dried ones that you water, and you can water any of them to keep them from getting dried. You don't want them to get to the dried point. So, yeah. So if you play Dreamlight Valley, water, water, water. They don't seem to have that problem where if you water them too much, they'll have issues. They'll start drooping and die or something like that, like in real life. But I would say water each one of them once a day. Although if you have a memory like mine, like I said, it doesn't seem to cause too many problems um, if you accidentally water them a little bit extra. But I have not done the experiment of sitting there watering a group of flowers, like 16 times and seeing what happens. Anyway, I'm trying to get all the little things done. So, like, next time we have a Star Path or a new DLC, I can concentrate solely on that and I don't have to worry about anything. Because I love Dreamlight Valley and I love it when there's something to do. But why? Yeah, see, that was a double door. That was weird. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to get this to where all of the front door areas are covered. I mean, the front of the house looks like the front of the house. Especially if I'm going to be taking this and turning it into the 2027 4th of July display. And like Santa Claus, I only have a year to do it. Although with 2027, I've got, way more than that. But, um, actually, this would be the 2028, so I've got tons of time to finish. Although, maybe I'll get one of those, maybe I'll get called by the Dollar Tree when they finally have the building open and, they'll be willing to do part-time. That's what they were looking for. It's part-time. And that's what I was looking for because mentally, I don't think I can do full-time. Full-time drives me crazy. But like when we do go out of the house like for for grocery shopping or for you know grandma's in the hospital kind of things. God willing, grandma's not in the hospital. Grandma's in Louisiana right now with her sister. Um and I'm like, wow, cuz grandma I think is in her 80s. And it's just like, wow, she got on that airplane and she went there and I don't know if, Aunt Vicky went with her too, but um, I just know Grandma's, in Louisiana. Okay. We're getting there on this project here. This was actually the annoying part of the project because all I wanted to do was redo the house, was repaint the houses a different color. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I've got that done. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do the doors? No. Did I do the garage? No. But anyway, we are on a different street entirely for the fireworks. We're already to where we're gonna turn the corner, go down the road a little bit, turn the corner again, and go on the part of the street with the movie theater and the hotel and all that, all that stuff. This time, I think I'm going to do the hotel a little bit different. Um, I want to have some parking up front, so the parking um, flows all the way down to the high school, pretty much. Okay, yeah, we got that done. Got Oh, that's done already. Yeah, because that's Emily's and Rick's house. Why do you not have a garage door, Rick? Rick's gonna go and park his car in there, or at least on the driveway, and he's not gonna have um a way to make sure he's got a truck, not a car. Um, he's gonna have no way to make sure that his truck's safe if he doesn't have a garage door. I know I get silly ideas in my head like that. Um, and I have not said anything about there being a bus system in Tam. Why am I doing that? I've said nothing about there being a bus that goes anywhere. So, you would think that there would be, at least a bus that goes from one spot to the other. And I haven't thought of that yet. Of course, I thought of, okay, so there's supposed to be a hairdresser. There's got to be somewhere to get tattoos. Um, there's got to be somewhere to get tattoos. There's got to be, um, um, pizza parlors, um, fi- the firehouse, um, firefighter house. You know, there's got to be all kinds of stuff. Wait a minute. If that's the correct color, then that is not the correct color. It's blue. Or not blue. Oh, I changed up the colors, didn't I? Okay, wait. That's acacia. So that would be dark. So that would be um that would be dark oak. So then that would be mangrove. And then this is supposed to be pink. And then pale. Yeah, okay, I get it. 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 Um if you know the actual song for that tune, you get brownie points. If you remember that it was a song on a commercial but can't remember the song, you get half brownie points because that was a very memorable commercial for me. Um, of course, there was a lot of commercials that were important to me, like the butter, 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 parquet. Now, the problem is, I don't remember were they advertising that parquet was butter, or were they saying that parquet tastes like butter, or, you know, I know they were advertising parquet, but what was their thought there? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Now we just have to go and change the colors. That is going to confuse the heck out of me. Well, there was a time when I couldn't figure out which direction I was going. And I don't know why, but, I just could not figure out what direction I was supposed to be going. So I came up with that. Well, over here, I was going that way. And over here, I'm going toward the water. Okay. And then we got dark. Then we got mangrove. And then we got pink. And then we got pale. Okay. So we will wait and do pale next time. Okay, we're gonna. Pale. And then we've got bamboo. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. We do not. We've got. See, up here it's got the bamboo and then the crimson and then the warped because that's the way it came. But for some reason, down here in the wood. Wait, is it here in the wood or there in the wood? No, it's here in the wood. Oh, I could have used that. Oh, I like this. Okay, so they've got pale, crimson, stripped, and then bamboo's down here. So I don't know why they've got that like that, but that's how we want it. So we are gonna fix it. This is that color. This, again, is that color. And this is done. Being silly. Okay, there we go. This just makes me feel like I've accomplished something. You know, this is checking off a box there. You know, it just makes me feel like I'm getting something done. There you go. It just makes me feel like I'm getting something done. So I'm gonna um, get this all set up, and then we can, take out each one individually as soon as we get the color in. And then all the houses should be done on this street, and we can go to the next street. And then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and yeah. Um, we've got all these set up for, um, we've literally got all these set up for 25s. And, like the other one, we've got wait, I don't have to go that far. Anyway, we've got all these set up for 25, and then it's got this. Well, we're doing it uh, different on the fireworks one. Well, the same but different. Okay, wait a minute. We've got the what we could do is take out the redstone blocks and uh, do it this way, but I like the other better. Okay, so then we. Alright, if that is birch like it's supposed to be, then this should be done. Should be, being the operative word. Um, Wait, no. One more. Question mark. We don't know yet. That's why I started building why I started doing this individually like this is because I didn't know. I did not know whether uh okay, one, two. Yeah, we do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah, 3, and then, but see, this is 4, but it's 1, 2, 3 above that. So don't want anybody getting confused here. Or to start yelling at me, I can't count or something like that. Um, I we have done that to TSMC. Um, he's the one that is TSMC hyphen Minecraft, and just most everybody that knows about him, just calls him TSMC. I have noticed that there are some other TSMC things out there though. So if you type in TSMC hyphen Minecraft, you should find him no problem, I hope. Um, yeah. Okay, so this is another question mark. This is also a question mark. Oh wait, no, that's not a question mark. That is, yes, that is the color that it's supposed to be, and this is the color that it ended up being because that house was the color that it is. These two. Okay, so not too bad, I think. Just need to finish a few more houses and we'll be done with this street. I know, I'm getting very excited because we're going to be done with the street. And then it's going to be a big letdown because it's going to be like, we have to do the next side. I'm going to be complaining that we have to do the next side, but once it gets done, it'll be nice. It'll be super nice. I don't think I got this far last time. I know I didn't because I had a whole bunch of uh, spots where the houses weren't. But I was pretty proud of myself because I had the so I had the house plots set up and ready to go. So all I have to do is put in the houses, and by the time that gets shown in 2026, maybe all the houses will be there, or at least enough of them, and it won't be too bad. Because I can actually, on that one, have, apparently I've got my light adjusted different than his though. But I can have him, um, just put in like one color of house. Like he could do all bamboo houses, and as long as it looks like a house, I'm fine with it. We don't have to do different colored houses until later. if we don't want to. There we go. And then we're back at the house that we need to do next. So I don't know if I said this or not today in this video. Please go on Amazon and check out my books because I would love it if everyone would buy at least one of my books. I would love it if you'd fall in love with them and buy all of them eventually, but right now I'm just hoping for one. They come in hardback, paperback, and ebook, which I believe can be put on a Kindle. Um, that was one of the questions I got asked yesterday. It's like, yeah, I think that's what they mean by ebook. I say ebook because, like usually it can download to whatever you need it to download to. Like if you want to if you want to read it on your phone, it can be put there. If you want to read it on your tablet, it can be put there. And I think if you want to read it on your computer, it can be put there. You know, I don't know all the details, but I know it can be an ebook. Um, anyway, oh, and I found out I was wrong. My book fit just fine inside my purse yesterday, even with it being that big old book. Um, because it's a 6 by 9. So left to right, it's 6 inches, and up and down, it's 9 inches. And it's like I measured a regular Buffy the Vampire Slayer book or something like it, and that's the size that it ended up being. And I'm like, how can that be? Well, I don't know what happened, but that's what ended up happening. So, huge books. So I'm gonna make it a different size and hope that that works out even better because it's the size that I actually want my books to be. And if I can get the printing cost down by doing that, I will. And I'll be very happy. And apparently, most of the books this season are big books. But I like the idea of the book that you're buying being able to be in your purse and not having to be, wedged in there. Like I'm thinking of a backpack purse or for guys, a attache case or, one of those. I don't think it would fit in a fanny pack, but my dad's got one, and my brother and sister always tease him that his man purse. But he's got stuff, his wallet, duh. But but he's got stuff in there like nail care kit. You can't take that into Disneyland though. And that is always every single time I go to Disneyland, I get a hangnail that I really need a nail care kit for. And like I could clip that and be perfectly fine, but you can't do it because, it's seen as a weapon. But I guess rather be safe than sorry. Anyway, so my books are The Rolling Sea, Beginnings, Book 1, Pirate's Daughter, You may be able to look it up just under Pirate's Daughter. I know you can look it up under Tina Rash Books, but you'll have to scroll down a little bit. Because I just found it that way the other day. But I'm hoping that if, I'm hoping that if you look up Pirate's Daughter under Tina Rash Books, that maybe you can find it. I mean, maybe it'll have the thing of, people who bought this book also bought this book. Because I know that I I and other people have bought my books and gotten, like, my sister, well, I think my brother-in-law, but yeah, and it was my brother-in-law, bought my sister book 1 and book 3. She still needs book 2 as far as I know. And I bought, I want to say that I bought Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral for me. And and at the same time, I bought, uh, or maybe it was just one or the other, and then I bought the other one later. Something like that. Anyway, I know I bought one of the bigger books and Adopted Coral at the same time, and I bought my husband a Star Wars book. So, um, it was one of those things where I need the book now. And so I had to use his survey points. And so I decided I better get him something too. And I did. Um, anyway, so they are The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 1, Pirate's Daughter. The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 2, Misfortune. The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 3, Hard Times. And then later in the series, The Rolling Sea Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party. And The Rolling Sea Traitor Book 2, The Island. And then there's a separate series called Adopted. And the first book is Coral. It has nothing to do with pirates. It's a children's book. It's a children's book, but our cat did think she was a Jedi. My husband was a big Star Wars fan, and so he made her think that she's a Jedi. And it was really cute though, because sometimes she'd hold up her paw like, "You will feed me. You will take care of my litter box. You will give me water." Yeah, it was so cute. She thought she could read too, and we never argued with that because she, when she was younger, she'd pull books off the shelf, and my husband says that, okay, so I was at work at the time. Um, I did not. Anyway, so Coral's book is supposed to be the way that she got into the family, but the thing is that I never got to Reno, so I could say, okay, this is where we got her, and because we got her at the Nevada Humane Society, and I don't think they were, uh, I don't think there were cat people at the time because I know that you have to run different tests on the babies, making sure they're okay and everything, giving them their shots and all that. But they kept coming back terrified of humans. And I know for sure I said, hey, this little guy needs his claws clipped. And they're like, yeah, we know. And if I would have known if I would have known now I mean, known then what I know now, I would have just said, can you just bring him out? We'll go into the room. We'll clip his claws. Because he's more adoptable if he doesn't have if he doesn't have such long claws. And on top of that, um, it would be more comfortable for him if his claws weren't, so long that they're into his pads. And we have had that happen to one of our cats. I felt so bad because it was one of our old lady cats and um senior cat. Senior. Okay. Um she was a good cat. The only thing with both of our senior cats um that we have had before were definitely special needs because one of them had renal failure and the other one had something else. I don't know why I remembered renal failure more than the other one, but anyway, whatever the problems were, they were internal, you couldn't see them, and they were just, or Henny was just happy to be part of the family. Roxy was more sassy and didn't like the other cats in the house. She should have been only lonely, and she wasn't. Or maybe she was a dog person. You know, maybe she was used to having a dog in the house. I don't know. But anyway, I guess we're gonna finish this house because we started talking about other things. Um. Oh yeah. Okay. So Coral's book is $6 if you're buying the paperback. It does not come in hardback because it didn't offer that option. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it's only 24 pages. But I'm just saying, um, brown bear, brown bear. The brown bear, what do you see? Yeah. Well, actually, it is kind of an advertisement for that, but I'm not getting paid for it. I just like the book. Yeah, and not an advertisement for Nevada Humane Society, but it is an advertisement for adopting a pet rather than like going to a puppy mill or a kitten mill and getting one of them. You know, all pets need to be loved, not just the babies. And please don't get a kitten for your child or yourself and then get rid of it when it's older because it's no longer cute. We personally think they're always cute. Sam has been cute since we got him. He's funny. He's funny, he's adorable, and he can be a brat. But yesterday, he was the one getting picked on. Thought that was interesting. Um, Ben was, Sam was coming down the stairs, and they were chasing each other, Ben and Sam. Um, they were chasing each other, and all of a sudden I hear Sam cry out. It's usually Ben, but I heard Sam cry out this time, and I'm like, what the heck? And Ben was definitely the one in the back, so I know that he was the offending party. So anyway, um, this one, right? This one. Okay. So if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. I do not have subscription at the moment because they locked me out of my original account for some reason. It could be the reason I think it is, but it could also be, oops, we locked you out of the wrong account because this account that I'm using right now was open at exactly the same time as the other one, and they didn't seem to care that it was open and not being used. But um so is that the original or the my husband keeps playing GTA the old version. Um GTA 5? GTA 5, but the old version. So like the Xbox One version, I think it is. And I don't have that one installed. I might, it's one of those things where I might be able to download it and bring it back, but, why have it? Because it's the same exact thing as. Oh, it has less stuff as the GTA 5 that we can play on um, newer versions of Xbox, like Xbox Series X, which is what I have. Um, yeah, so somebody wanted, day before yesterday, I think it was, um, I was talking to somebody, and they wanted to play games with me, and they're on the S. So they're on the S, and I'm on the X, and it would perfectly work because it's a series machine. But I was going to be super busy the next day, and I was super busy that day because I was still trying to. I think I was still trying to piece together the story. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, piecing together the story is actually going really good when I feel like piecing it together. Then sometimes I just have to force myself. I gotta go, okay, I'm gonna get this done today. Because document wise, I'm almost on page 100. So I'm pretty dang happy. And story wise, uh, it's I'm like 20 pages away. Not entirely 20 pages. It's like 12, but we'll call it 20. No, we'll just look. Okay, I'm on 92. No, so I got 8 pages left to get to page 100. And then, once I get to page 100, I'll be like, okay, let's get to 150. And then once I get to 150, I'll be like, let's get to page 200. And then when I get to 200, it'll be a lot easier to finish the book because I'll be like, I only have 169 pages left. Let's get this done, you know. But I got to get myself to that 200 page first, and yeah. So anyway, Oh, if you want a complete list of my books, my husband's Patreon is Darth Caesar 00 at on Patreon, and it has a complete list of my pirate books. And somewhere on my Twitch has a suggested websites or something like that. And what? Oh, social links. There's suggested social links. And one of them is to his Patreon, and one of them is to Adopted Coral on Amazon. And oh, and the Patreon, it's not just the list of the books, it's, a link that actually goes to uh Amazon, so you can see every single one of them and see what price they are and see that they come in hardback, paperback, and ebook. And anyway, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I only need like 16 more people, 14 more people, one of those two. And I will have the 500 that I am desperately hoping for at the moment. That's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is 1,000 people. But I figure that'll come in time. If I can be okay. I realized I wasn't real active the first couple of years, but I've been on YouTube since 2016. I November or December. Oh, yeah, it was probably November. I was thinking December for some reason though. But anyway, November, December of 2016 is when I posted my very first book. I mean, not book. Is when I posted my very first YouTube video. It was just, a little clip from Dr. Quinn season 3. And then I was watching some people's videos and I'm like, of Disneyland, and it's like all dark and it's like what's going on. You have no idea what part of the ride you're on because you couldn't see, right? So I'm like, I've got some better footage than that. So I started putting those on there, and people are really happy about that because between It's a Small World from it's either 86 or 2000, and America Sings, I've got the most views. Those are the two videos that have the most views, is what I'm saying. Um, anyway, so at the moment, I just need 14 to 16 more viewers, and I should be able to get I should be able to get some kind of monetized. It said I should be able to start getting money from people skipping the ads. It's exactly how it was written, and I don't understand how skipping the ads can make money, but works for me. And then with 1,000, I'm just like totally monetized and I'm good, But I figure if between 2017 and now I've made this many viewers, by kind of flooding the market, so to speak, and upping my game because I went from recording on cell phones and tablets and the webcam on my computer to which all looked horrible, by the way. Um, it, if I can go and, you know, I went from that to Twitch, and, being on Twitch has got me so many subscribers because you actually see the colors the way that they're supposed to be. Nothing's cockeyed unless that's the way I've got the controller, all that stuff. It looks nice. It looks good. And, people are happy about it and they like my content, and or they at least like the sound of my voice. I make them feel like they have friends. I seriously hope that somebody who's lonely watches my videos and feels better about life because, they can hear that another person's going through the same stuff that they are, or just, it feels like there's another human in the room. So as soon as we're done with this house, since we've dawdled this long, almost to 1 o'clock, oh my goodness. Um, but this file needs some love too. Um, I think maybe next time we come on here, we will do some more fireworks, and we'll do this, and if we have any time left over, um, maybe we'll go and do something for Disney World, even though I'm trying to keep that as a yay for subscriptions or yay for follows or whatever. Milestones. Okay, let's see here. Yep, that's all good. That seems to be all good. And that's all good. Yay! And take that out. And yeah, we're gonna stop for lunch. I don't want to do this one. I'm being whiny butt on this. Okay, I will see you in the next stream or video.